Looking back at the races so far, Max Verstappen is undoubtedly the commanding favourite in the 2021 title fight. Not only has he finally been given the car to match his immense talent, but Red Bull have also very clearly stated that they are not holding back on developing this car and have gone all in on 2021. This means Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton have arguably their toughest fight yet, and are on the back foot for the first time since mid-2018. So what makes Verstappen's title challenge so much more dangerous compared to 2018, and what can Max do to learn from the mistakes that both Seb and Ferrari made as well? After 10 races, our two gladiators have already come to blows on multiple occasions. However, it's still uncertain where the title fight has been fought more intensely, on the track between Lewis and Max or on the internet between their two hardcore fan bases. Either way, I've enjoyed the chaos on both sides, but in terms of how the title fight looks going into Hungary, it's Max with the lead in the championship on 185 points with 5 wins and 5 pole positions. That makes him 8 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who himself has bagged 4 wins and 2 poles. Now, the really interesting thing is that after 10 races in 2018, the gap in the points between Lewis and Seb was exactly the same. At this point, Seb was the leader in the title fight on 171, with Hamilton 8 points behind on 163. We all know that without a consistent race-winning car, no driver can fully utilize their talent and challenge for a title. However, finally Red Bull have not turned up late to the party after everyone's already left, but have actually given Max a car from the very beginning, which is giving him confidence, and which I think, looking at the big picture over the last 10 races, has easily been the best in 2021. Now, many people have argued that in 2018 the Ferrari simply wasn't good enough, and that it actually got worse in the second half of the season, meaning Seb had no chance to ever win the title. Now, I personally disagree with this opinion, however, because I don't really like to look at these kinds of situations with the hindsight that Lewis actually did win the title, and so the Mercedes must have been better. I prefer to judge them in terms of how I felt at the time as it was happening, and in fact, here is an extract from an article posted by racefans.net that literally summarizes word for word how I felt at the time and how I still do. Do Mercedes or Ferrari have the quickest car? Ferrari have closed the gap compared to last year, and while Mercedes remain fractionally ahead, the difference between them is now negligible in average terms. The balance is swinging from race to race depending on how their car performs on different tracks, tyres, and in different conditions. With the cars so closely matched, driver performance counts for more this year than ever before, something all fans of the sport surely want to see. Another reason why I don't believe that Ferrari just dropped off the face of the planet in terms of car performance is that even when the teams came back after the summer break, which is when each of the teams fit their major upgrade packages for the second half of the season, Seb still won the first race back at Spa, and then next time out in Monza, Kimi Raikkonen was able to take pole position. And speaking of Kimi, if you look at the percentage of points scored by the two drivers in the first and then the second half of 2018, although Seb scored 54% in the first half and 46% in the second, Kimi Raikkonen in the same car scored almost the same percentage in both halves, with 49% in the first half and 51% in the second half, which included a win at the end of the year. Now, really quickly before we move on, I want to say a big thank you to Surfshark VPN, who are the sponsor of today's video. Now, Surfshark is a virtual private network which is available as an easy-to-use app and browser extension. It allows you to protect your location by placing your laptop or phone anywhere in the world and access the internet as if you were in another country. Now, there are numerous benefits to this, not least of which, by the way, is safety and privacy. But one of the most common uses, for example, is if there is a Netflix show that isn't available in your country, then you can use Surfshark legally and safely to change your location, which then allows allows you to watch the shows that are available in other countries. Surfshark also has other benefits like cleaning the web and blocking those annoying ads that you see when you're browsing, which is actually my personal favorite feature because it just silently works in the background, making your life easier without you even noticing. Now, these are just a few of the benefits of Surfshark amongst many others, and if you are interested, then follow the link at the top of the description and use my code ALDAS to get 83% off and an extra 3 months for free. Now, on top of all of that with Surfshark, you also get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk in trying it out. It's a really great deal that will benefit you and will also help the channel as well. So once again, thank you again to Surfshark. In 2018, Ferrari simply weren't good enough as a team, from the management to the strategy to even the pit crew, and if anything, the caliber of the team almost did not match the quality of the car. Although people now retrospectively look fondly on Maurizio Arrivabene as if he was one of the greatest team principals there's ever been, whilst he was a good team principal and a really likable character for me personally, who definitely did not deserve to be dropped when he did, he also wasn't anything extraordinary like people now make him out to be. The team was so inconsistent when it came to telling the drivers what the situation was with regards to who was the number 1 and who was the number 2, and they went from only focusing on Seb in races like China and literally forgetting to tell Kimi to pit, to then not thinking enough about Seb and the championship in races like Monza, when Seb had to give Kimi the toe, which gave Kimi the pole position, and then we all know what happened on lap 1. In Formula 1, as a team principal, with all of the pressure on your shoulders, you have to make very tough decisions when it comes to drivers. And even though people on social media cry about how unfair life is for these drivers, the fact is, if number 2 drivers were quick enough in the first place to the number 1s, then they wouldn't have to be put into those positions in the first place. That is why in 2021, Toto Wolff has already admitted to talking to Valtteri about playing the number 2 role, and that is why Christian Horner in Silverstone decided that it would be worth more to take 1 point away from Lewis by pitting Checo and taking the fastest lap, instead of scoring a 7th or 8th finish, which would be more points in the Constructors. Are these things fair? No. Are these things harsh? Maybe. But are these the tough and unpopular decisions that have to be made in order to give your driver the best possible advantage to win a championship? Absolutely. And that is why Toto Wolff and Christian Horner are top tier team principals. The whole Red Bull team is a top tier organization. I've said that on more than one occasion on my channel, so sorry if I sound like a broken record at this point, but the fact is, regardless if you like Christian Horner as a person or absolutely can't stand him, he is a great team principal. And even Helmut Marko, although his antics in the media sometimes are very hard to handle even for me, the man in the last decade gave F1 Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen and other drivers like Ricciardo and Sainz who have become superstars in other teams. Yes, he sometimes goes off the rails in the media and maybe says more than he needs to, but to me, until proven otherwise, his track record is the end of the conversation. Max has a great environment around him, and unlike Seb in 2018, he's got everyone, even Sergio Perez, rowing in the same direction. On the outside it looks like favoritism, and that's because it is. But that's what is needed to put Max in the best mindset possible and give him the best chance to win, even when he has a bad race. Ultimately, the drivers are the people with the greatest controls of their destiny, and regardless if the team isn't quite performing at their best, the driver is the only person in the car. The biggest difference between Max and Seb is that at this current moment, Max does not look like he's even close to cracking under pressure, and I think me, along with a lot of other fans, just have this confidence in him to deliver every single race and to be ice cold under pressure. In 2018 with Seb, even before we get to the late season spins and the big crash in Germany, there were already small signs that Seb was starting to crack under pressure. From the lockup in Baku, which ultimately cost him the win, to crashing into the back of Bottas in France. Bringing this back to Max though in 2021, I don't really have the same worries as I had with Seb in 2018, where from race to race you didn't really know whether Seb would dominate the field or would once again ruin his race with a mistake in wheel-to-wheel combat. With Max at this point in his career being so hungry to grab that first championship, he just radiates this confidence every single weekend that he is ready for this moment and he is not about to just throw away the best car on the field and the best chance he's ever had of winning a championship. Everything has to come together to be able to win, and when either the team or the car are not quite at the level that they should be, it's up to the driver to make up the difference and pull the team forward even when they might be holding him back. Of course, the one factor that you just can't account for is the Hamilton factor. In 2018, I wouldn't go so far as to say that Ferrari underestimated Lewis, but I do think that his ability to always capitalize on every single mistake that Seb made had a massive effect on Seb's and Ferrari's confidence and belief. This season, Red Bull have gone on the offensive against Lewis and Toto, whether through very harsh racing by Max on track or even not being shy at throwing around the odd accusation or very harsh criticism by Christian Horner. Whether it's actually working or not is a very interesting debate, but regardless, although Hamilton has pulled the championship gap back down to just 8 points, and even though Toto Wolff also seems to be embracing the title fight more than ever, Max and Red Bull look to have learned from the mistakes that Seb and Ferrari made in 2018, and so far they look unbeatable. This has easily been the closest and most exciting title battle since 2018, and even though Red Bull does seem to have a little bit more superior car performance compared to what the Merc and the Ferrari were relative to each other in 2018, the roller coaster between these two absolute greats continues, and it's seasons like this that make watching all of those dominant title battles worth it. This is what I've been waiting for, and this is why I love Formula One. Well, there you have it. That rounds off another video. Now, don't forget, let me know all of your thoughts in the comments box below. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. And once again, a massive thank you to Surfshark VPN. And if you guys do want to save 83% off and get an extra 3 months for free as well, then don't forget to use my code ALDAS or use the link at the very top of the description. So once again, a massive thank you to Surfshark VPN. Anyway, guys, there you go. I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, then don't forget to drop a like, and if you want to support the channel, then don't forget to subscribe as well. That would be massively appreciated, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.